Hello and welcome. Today we're going to unpack 6 fundamental freedoms from the Indian Constitution. These are rights that shape our daily lives probably in more ways than you even realize.
So let me ask you something. Have you ever gone online and posted a really strong opinion? You know, on social media, in a blog, or maybe you just got into it in a comment section?
Or how about this? Maybe you've been to a rally or joined a peaceful march for a cause you really believe in. Well, here's the thing. When you do that stuff, it's not just you doing something. You're actually exercising a fundamental right, one that's literally baked into the Constitution of India. So let's get into what that really means.
All right, so the source for all of this, the absolute foundation, is Article 19 of the Constitution. Think of it as the bedrock that guarantees these essential freedoms to every single citizen.
So what are these pillars of freedom? Well, there are 6 of them, and they kind of build on each other. It all starts with the freedom to speak your mind and express yourself. That naturally leads to the freedom to gather peacefully with other people who think like you. From there, well, you have the right to form actual groups like associations or unions. To make that all work, you've got the freedom to move and live anywhere in the country. And finally, you have the freedom to choose your own job or business. It's the whole package, really, the promise of a free society.
Now here's a fun fact. There actually used to be 7 freedoms. The 7th was the right to property. But that was taken off the list of fundamental rights way back in 1978 with the 44th Amendment. And that left us with the 6 we have today.
Okay, let's start with the big one, the one that probably gets the most attention, the freedom of speech and expression. And trust me, it's about a lot more than just talking.
At its heart, it's your right to say what you think, to share your opinions without being afraid the government's going to shut you down. Whether you're writing, making art, or shooting a film, the idea is you can express yourself freely. But as we're about to see, that's really just the beginning.
And this is where you can see that our Constitution isn't just some dusty old document. It's alive. It evolves. Over the years, the Supreme Court has expanded what expression actually means. It's not just words. It includes the freedom of the press, the right to put out a commercial advertisement, and even your right to information, the RTI. It also protects your right to protest peacefully, and, get this, even your right to say nothing at all.
But, and this is a huge but, here comes the most crucial part. None of these freedoms are absolute. The Constitution itself has this built-in idea called reasonable restrictions. You can think of it like a balancing act. On one side of the scale, you have the incredible promise of freedom, but on the other side, there's a price, or maybe a better word is responsibility. Limits the government can put in place for the good of everyone else.
So what are we talking about here? Well, your freedom of speech can be limited for some pretty big reasons. Things like protecting the country's sovereignty, national security, or just maintaining public order. The government can also step in to uphold decency or morality, or to stop you from defaming someone or stirring up violence. And the key word through all of this is reasonable.
All right, now that we've got this freedom plus restriction idea down, let's see how it plays out with some of the other rights we mentioned. You can see the same balancing act right here. Your right to gather peacefully, absolutely protected, but it can be restricted if it messes with public order. Same for your right to form a union. It's guaranteed, but not if it threatens public order or morality. And then there's the freedom to move and live anywhere in India. Even that can be limited, either for the general public's good or, and this is very specific, to protect the culture and lands of scheduled tribes. In every single case, it's a negotiation between your rights as an individual and what's best for the community. And again, these things change over time. For instance, in 2011, the 97th Amendment was passed, and it specifically added the right to form cooperative societies. It just shows how the Constitution adapts to what's happening in the country. Last but not least, let's look at the freedom that affects our careers, the right to practice whatever profession or trade you want.
And you guessed it, this one also has limits. You can't just wake up one morning and decide you're going to be a surgeon, right? The state has the power to say, hey, you need a medical license for that. It can also take over certain industries entirely if it decides that's what's best for the public.
Okay, so this is a law written back in 1950. We're talking typewriters, not Twitter. So how on earth does it apply to our world of smartphones and Wi-Fi? Well, this is where it gets really cool. In a massive landmark ruling in 2020, the Supreme Court of India officially declared that using the internet is a fundamental right. They said it falls right under the freedom of speech and expression. I mean, this timeline says it all.
In 1950, Article 19 guarantees freedom of speech. Fast forward 70 years to 2020, and the Supreme Court says that includes the internet. The core idea is the same, but how we apply it has to grow with the times. It's just a perfect reminder that the Constitution isn't some static relic, it's a living guide.
So, all of this leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? This whole thing is a constant negotiation between our individual freedom and the security of everyone. There are no simple answers here. It's a fundamental tension. So the real question is, where do you think that line should be drawn?